it'd probably be a good idea to include it in future packets, but I should have thought about that from before. But anyway, I'll do my best. So I need approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Hear a motion. So moved. Hear a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And secondly, the consideration of the minutes for the meeting of June 18th, 2020.
I move
Is there a
that be
motion?
accepted.
So Mark moved, and hear a second.
Second.
Who is that, Jen or Alicia?
Jen.
Jen. All in favor? All
Aye.
in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. So this is the public hearing consideration of DRB 2023 City of Cannon Beach application to replace one window on the north side of the building and add concrete ADA pad for walk-up service. The applicant, the City of Cannon Beach, is requesting approval to replace one window on the north side of the building and add a concrete ADA pad for walk-up service. The property is owned by the City of Cannon Beach, located at 163 Scour in a limited commercial zone. The application will be reviewed against the criteria of Municipal Code, Chapter 1744-080-1744-100 Design Review Criteria. So this is I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't have a script, but this is a quasi-judicial hearing, and we will follow the normal procedure for the hearing, and any opponents can appeal the decision of the DRB to the City Council if they don't like the outcome, and I think that's just about it. Any other, Jeff, any other, anything you want to add to that? I can't remember the rest of the script, but.
Certainly the short version, Mike.
Anything else, Jim, that you? I think it sounded good to me, Mike.
Oh, okay. Okay, so do we have a staff report?
Yeah, and did everybody get the addendum that I sent out? Or if you haven't, I just sent it out this afternoon. Mike, did you get that?
I'm not sure I did, no.
Okay, so
if I did, I didn't.
I'm going to share my screen. Mike, do you have access to a screen?
No, but I walked the site with Bruce, so I know what it looks like.
Okay. Well, so what's happened since the staff report went out and the first design was I hadn't walked it with the contractor that was going to do the site. Do the actual plan, the construction. And so the contractor, I raised some problems with that, what would be the north entrance there. And there was a number of issues with that. And one of them was that it was a double slope type of thing. So they were going to really have to take out a heck of a lot of concrete. And it was going to end up changing that entire area over there by our north entrance. And so we looked at other alternatives, and the one that I sent around in the addendum was the best alternative, where we could have a entry ramp from the north, the same direction, that would go up in front of the western window and have a flat service platform that would be ADA compatible. So it's not double slope like the one that would have been out by the window. And right there for service into the front office. So the front office, it really isn't going to have to change too much, and they can be there during the working hours to to any drop-off service or interactive drop-off. We will likely have to change that first parking space there that I've identified. That's probably going to be changed into a handicap access area. And so it may end up changing both that first space and then the one there, which would be to the south. But the rest of it then would work pretty much as planned, with about a 6 foot by 6 foot turnaround area up on the top that's totally flat, and then they can exit the same way. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions with that? If you look at that, the picture of the 163 East Gower that's on the addendum, you can see the area with that overhang. And then it's got that second window that we would be replacing. We don't think we're going to really have to drop down the window, which we would have had to do on the other facade, on the north facade. But with this one, we think it likely with the ADA height, it should be about right. So that's about the only thing that would change on that facade, is that if we do have to bring down that window a little bit, it may knock it down maybe six inches at the most.
So I'm a little confused. It seems like, so on the sketch that Karen did, or whoever did this little drawing, so that's a new roof. That little 412 roof. That's kind of a bump out, right?
Yeah, so Mike, that is totally out. That's the first one that was over there on the north facade, and that was one of my problems with it, is that it had a pitched roof, and we don't have any pitched roofs really on the City Hall. So we've moved it around to a western entrance. Do you have access, Mike, to your email, or?
Just a second.
Does anybody
Yeah,
else?
but I think the place that Bruce showed me was definitely on that. It's like the second. Okay, I'm looking at it. It's the second window in behind Nissa's desk, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the southmost. It's the southernmost window in that front office.
Right.
I think that's a much better alternative, because the roof pitch on the other entrance wasn't really in sync with the rest of the building. So that was going to be my main question tonight, was in terms of architectural compatibility. So if there's no need for that roof, then that makes it a better thing for me.
Yeah, I think that's right. I certainly agree with that.
I was also worried. Oh, sorry, Mike.
My only other question was that the ADA ramp that goes along the building, are you going to have to take out all that skimmia, all that landscaping between the flagpole and the building facade?
I don't think so. Mike, I think it fits all with underneath that overhang.
Overhang.
Yeah. So
yeah.
There'll be a little we might have to take up right by the window where they're going to have the 6 foot turnaround area, but that's about the only area that's going to be impacted.
Yeah. Well, if they have to take out, if they can dig up those skimmia and transplant them to the west, that would be good. That would be doable, I would think. But maybe they don't have to. But I like the way that the platform is right off the handicap parking space and everything. So that's smart. Okay. So I guess we should ask for the applicant. Are you representing the applicant, Jeff?
I am the applicant tonight. Everyone else wanted everyone else wanted to enjoy the weather.
Great. Okay. So, do we have any proponents other than you?
Let me see, Jan, I think Jan's the only other one that's out there, so I'll see if she has anything she wants to say.
Okay.
And I've asked, and so I guess she doesn't.
Doesn't. Okay. So are there any opponents?
Hello.
Hey, Jan.
Hello. Hi, Jan.
Hi. Hi. Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't get the unmuting thing to work properly, but I think you can hear me now.
We can,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I'm just listening in right now. I have not been able to see these plans, so I'm just listening in.
Okay. You don't have any comments then, Jan?
I don't have any really comments because I have not seen what this is. I'm learning
Jeff
as I'm listening.
Did Jeff explain it to you?
I've heard everything in your meeting so far.
Okay. Well, I think, all right, fine. Okay, well, I won't count you as an opponent then. And then is there anybody else that wants to speak?
I guess I
Okay.
just have a question that I know you were just talking about the handicap. Is that new window then handicap accessible?
Yes, that's what, so that's what we'll make that window. We have a unit that would go in there that we were initially going to put over there on the north side, but this is going to fit there in that window frame there on the west side. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it looks like, so the unit kind of pushes the window out so that somebody in a wheelchair can wheel up to the window and they can open the window or slide it open and take papers or give papers or whatever, right?
Great.
Jeff? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to close the hearing and have deliberation. Anybody else any of the DRB members want to speak?
Was there more that we needed to hear from the staff report? I mean, we didn't really get a staff report. Was it a substitute staff report based on the addendum?
Yeah, it was just the addendum.
Okay.
They're really, in that first one, I think the only thing else that, Alicia, that I pointed out in the first one was that it's got pretty good, the original one had pretty good access to the 15-minute parking and everything. This, of course, will have because of the rearranged parking area, hopefully we'll have a direct accessory, an ADA parking. So even be better, hopefully.
Great.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to put right just to the south of the ADA space, you might have a 10-minute parking space installed there too for people that aren't handicapped but want to use the window.
Yeah.
So can you describe the window itself, how it works?
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those, larger pane at the top, bottom third is a kind of slide window. And so it can be opened that's what they presented to us. It's one of those slide windows, almost like a fast food type window there.
Was it open to the room then?
Is it open to the what?
To the room, to the office?
Yeah, just when you open it, yeah. And so it's like a fast food, the older ones where they would slide something through. And
Prevents somebody from either crawling inside or shoving something that shouldn't go through their inside.
yeah, no, I think that it's got to be locked and unlocked type of thing. It's only for, I think, during an interactive kind of thing. And then there possibly
says 24/7.
I think there is a drop-off component, but that's kind of like the one that we have, which is like a little slot type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Dave, I haven't seen the actual plan drawings of the window unit that supposedly, you know, they're putting in, but that's what the
It's
guy.
probably, yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Any other comments? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve or deny? Anybody?
I move to approve the proposed plan based on the addendum submitted.
I think we should do, I guess we have to do it in two phases at least, let's say 3 phases. So do I hear a motion to Alicia? Was that you, Alicia? You
It
want
was.
to approve the architectural plan?
I move to approve the architectural plan based on the addendum that was submitted.
Okay, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, a motion to approve the site plan.
So
In other
moved,
words,
according to the
Here's a
addendum.
here a
Second,
second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the landscape plan. And I'd like, at this point, I'd like to insert that they should either retain the skimmias by digging them up or replanting them if they have to move them. If that could be part of the motion. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll
I
move
move-
the landscape be accepted, assuming that skimmia will that have to be removed, will be relocated or replaced appropriately.
Second. That's Alicia.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, motion passed. So do I hear a motion for me to sign the appropriate orders?
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, Dave moved. Mark second, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any discussion items or good of the order?
Yes, I have I want to first thank every DRB member that stayed through that meeting the other night, hoping to have a discussion on the planning priorities and then not have any really discussion on the planning priorities. I do appreciate you guys staying with this. You know, I promised, I think it was a year and a half ago, to really start working on the DRB, reviewing and renewing the DRB processes and ordinances. And we've only really, we've kind of made a couple steps forward and then we take 2 steps back because of different things that have come up. We finally now have at least the commitment from the Planning Commission and the City Council to work towards a comprehensive plan audit, which really is about how do our ordinances support the comprehensive plan. I don't think there's my sense is that the City Council doesn't want to really amend or work too much on the comprehensive plan except for necessary parts where they see some missing gaps. But what they do want to work on is how our ordinances are going to support that in the coming years. There's been a lot of growth and we're running out of developable lots, and that's putting a lot more pressure on many aspects. And as I've said, DRB is one of the keys, and DRB is brought up at each one of these, Planning Commission and City Council. They seem to be, at least if both are discussing either expanding the role of design review, possibly it's even been discussed into single family, but definitely changing some of the design review. So they want to do a joint process. The last discussions were that they might start in November but just recently, from what I've heard, it sounds a lot more like this is going to happen starting in January.
Okay.
But I would expect what we're going to do, at least my recommendations is in January and February, we would have
Right
probably,
now. Oh, that's Mary.
oh, sorry, January and February, we'd have probably pretty quick meetings of 3 to 4 meetings in a row and try to get as much accomplished in 3 or 4 meetings, and then see where that takes us into which ordinances would be affecting DRB, which ordinances would be affecting Planning Commission, and then work through the processes towards City Council in both directions.
Okay. That sounds good. We could
All
have
right.
work. We could have an afternoon workshop too. I would think that would work. So.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to push for is some work sessions that, you know, a little bit longer than the normal, but separate so that they're not what we've tried to do where with Planning Commission, I just don't think it's working. And the same with City Council, we can't combine them into with other topics because I think this is too big of a thing to deal with.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
all.
Thank you. And I guess we're adjourned. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.